So I've been contacted by YouTube. They reached out, they sent me an email yesterday, and I've never seen this email before. I don't know if I'm the only creator who has received this email, but the fact of the matter is that here we are now, and what do we do moving forward? More on that in just a moment. First, I want to talk about something that is extremely important, becoming more and more apparent every single day with every new video, every new upload, and try to answer some questions that I've been getting asked a whole lot more recently. But I think the simplest and easiest way to put this is that this has all been a plan from the start. This has all been by design, okay? Nothing is by chance or accident or coincidence. Now, if you know, you know. But I still get those who are fortunately waking up, if not already awake, and listening to my voice, listening to the sound of my voice, watching my videos that I post, long form, short form, and wanting to know how can they survive? How can they position themselves and their families in a way to somewhat go against the grain, buck the trends, and beat them at their own game? And for those people, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We need more of you because this can get the best of you. It can get daunting, tiresome, overwhelming, but it doesn't mean that it has to be all bad. It doesn't mean that you can't win. We have to set our sights on small victories. Because if you only focus on the big win, then sometimes you'll lose focus, get off track, perhaps maybe even lose motivation to continuously push and strive towards the goals that you have set out for yourself to achieve that are possible. But at the same time, knowing that there will be obstacles thrown in your way that you will face. But these obstacles can be overcome. So you got to think about it. Look at the I don't know where this cat came from. This came out of nowhere. He's got a collar on. I guess at least it's not a black cat. So anyway, let's look at the education system. The public education system is, for a lack of better words, leaves much to be desired. And depending on where you live, will have even greater impact on how poor or how good that education system may be. That education system is designed to push folks into a single file line into the same direction that pretty much everyone else has been pushed. And that leads us to the jobs market. The jobs market is designed with the idea in mind of minimum wage. Schools don't teach people how to think. Schools teach people what to think. And we see that more and more now today than ever, because I don't know how many comments I get, how many emails I get, how many DMs I get of people stuck in this trap of what to think. And it is very, very inspiring and encouraging and exciting when I come across folks that either know how to think or are interested in learning how to think. But again, folks, this was their plan all along. This is all by design. Go to school, barely get your education, get a job, make minimum wage. Perhaps maybe you can buy a house. That used to be a dream. Maybe get married, have a family, manage your debt, die with your debt, work your entire life hoping and praying for retirement one day. Go get you after a majority of your life has been spent serving a company and an employer who probably makes hundreds of multiples more than you do in income, while putting in a fraction of the work. At the end of the day, maybe you luck up and you get yourself a gold watch. Maybe you get yourself a gold watch. Maybe you get yourself, if you go watch at Scott's Thoughts. He's got a video where he showed, I think it was either his dad or his grandfather or his uncle. Forgive me, I don't remember the exact details of the story, but after serving a majority of their life for an employer, I think surviving multiple heart attacks while on the job, the retirement gift was an aluminum, gold-plated, fake ruby-encrusted pocket knife. This is the system, folks. This is the system that has been designed to perpetually push folks down this path of continuation to work towards dying in debt, and all they have to show for it is a fake gold pocket knife. Those are the only people who will earn that prize are the people that only know what to think. The people who know how to think, they get their own prize. They determine what their prize is. And their prize can almost be anything that they want it to be. The prize isn't limited to minimum wage. It isn't limited to some government political legislation that states how much or how little you're going to make. Somebody commented on a video that the bank stole $50,000 from them. I'm gonna link their video in the description. Something along the lines of a hiker. Actually, I watched the video, so I'm gonna pull it up in my history and tell you the name of his channel, because I think his name was actually Kevin, because I saw in the comments somebody said Kevin. So here it is. You guys can see that. It says Atypical Hiker. warning you about the banking. I don't know what the rest of it says, but basically they stole like $50,000. And this is part of that system. It's all by design. Now, I'm not saying that he or his family or anybody involved with that story fell into the trap of only knowing what to think. But at the end of the day, his story corroborates the theory and the idea. And the simple fact of the matter is that this is their plan. But for the people who come to me and say, Kevin, I hear you. Don't let these other folks deter you and distract you from doing what you need to do. These jets, check out these jets. That one got behind the tree, the clouds. Don't let these other folks deter you from doing what you need to do. Why you're here? Because we need this information. Keep sharing. I gotta remember that those comments help, those emails, Patty, you know, they help a lot, because I feel as though, fortunately, I've fallen into the category of knowing how to think, or at least continuously trying to learn how to think and not only what to think, which has allowed me the ability to be put in a position to help so many who want to be helped. But those that want to be helped realize that they know that they can't do it on their own, but at the same time, they also know that they have to do what needs to be done for it to happen. It's not just, I need help, give it to me. It's, no, I need help. Can you point me in the right direction? They are learning at that point how to think, because the people who just want it handed to them, they only know what to think. That's it. So they'll go and want to be handed something, which is where the government comes in, and they'll put you on food stamps, they'll put you on EBT, they'll put you on Social Security benefits, whatever it may be, and they'll tell you what to think. You have to come to us to eat. You have to come to us to live. You have to rely on us to barely get by. You can't go out and do anything else, because you'll lose us and then you'll be washed away. And then you got some people in the middle, and they figured it out. They know what to think, but they also know how to think a little bit, and they'll say, yeah, I hear you, and they'll take that, and then they'll grind and they'll hustle on the side to supplement that, keep that quote unquote free gimme, where nothing in this life is free, especially not coming from the government. And they'll try to work the system that way. They may be hood rich. This is not directed towards anybody. They may look and appear like they're keeping up with the Joneses or whatever it may be, but odds are they're not. I had a conversation today, Squirrel Tribe and we both had a conversation today with our CPA, doing a little end of year tax planning, 2023 tax planning strategy. And that's because we are connecting and connected and working with people that know how to think and not what to think. It's a matter of, yes, there are tax codes Yes, you are business owners. Yes, there are ways to use the tools that we have available to us to help us improve our financial situation moving forward. Because we know that if we don't, it's not a matter of only caring about money, only worrying about money all the time. It's a matter of if we don't, then we find ourselves falling in line in that single file line of only knowing what to think. You got to do your taxes. You got to go to school, get this crappy education, go get a job, make minimum wage, get your paycheck, go to H&R Block, go to Jackson Hewitt, go to TurboTax, get your taxes done, get a crappy little tax return, and do it all again. Continuously, barely getting by, barely keeping the lights on, barely keeping your head above water, which the hiker, he said in his video, he said, it's not inflation. He says your dollar, the value is just diminished and decreased to the point in which it doesn't buy as much, so you need more dollars. So it's like you could look at this financial monetary system as, are we in a state of high inflation, or are we in a state of high deflation? So the inflation would come from the prices we see on the shelves. Inversely, the deflation would come from the value of which the dollar is worth in its power and ability to purchase. You gotta think about it. Like, if you weren't an hourly employee, which I know that this may be a foreign concept for some, which I need to talk about, but this may be a foreign concept for some, but if you were not an hourly employee and you determined your rate for your jobs, some folks who are independent contractors in certain trades know exactly what I'm talking about. Even if you were something as simple as a landscaper, you would have a rate for the job depending on the severity of the job and the location and things like that. And you can adjust that depending. So that allows you the ability to have greater control over your household economic situation versus only making money by the hour, so that when we see inflation occurring, higher prices on the shelves, when we see deflation occurring, lower buying power in the dollar, you're stuck in the middle because you only get paid a set wage, and that doesn't typically keep up with even maintaining the increased cost of living. So somebody commented and said, well, Kevin, you're just trying to get everybody to start businesses, and we all don't need businesses. That's stupid. If you look at it that way, yeah, you're right. You're stupid. But I'm not telling everybody go out there, run out and quit and only work for yourself. What I'm saying, what I said was everyone should have a business. You can have a job. You can be employed. You can have multiple. You can be an employee. You can have a W-2 job and still be a business owner. Why? I just told you why. And if you don't understand and you missed it, then rewind the video and watch it again. I just told you why. But they don't teach you that in school. They don't teach you how to think about business and strategy. They teach you what to think about. You need to follow this book, follow this lesson plan, get this grade, go get a job, make minimum wage. Maybe some of y'all are going to excel and get academic scholarships, athletic scholarships, perhaps go on and be great. The majority of you folks are not. Not because you can't, but because the system is not designed for that to happen. And unless you have someone out there who's pushing you and telling you that it can and you should, then odds are you're just going to fall in single file line with everybody else and get what everybody else gets, which in some instances is just pain and heartache, anguish, anxiety, and stress. You guys know what I'm talking about. Some folks break free. They listen, they wise up, they're tired of it. Whatever the reason may be, I don't care. As long as you at some point decide to make that change and stop only thinking of what to think based on what they taught you, how they brainwashed you, but more so of how. Well, you're off to a great start, and that start can happen at a young age, it can happen at a middle age, it can happen at an older age. It doesn't matter. I would never look at the situation and say, oh, it's too late. Nope, never too late. Never. Not as long as you're breathing. But like I said, there are some out there that are helping push me along, and I appreciate you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words and the comments and the shares and the emails and the messages, because that means that no matter how many negative dipshit assholes I encounter in this process, as long as I reach at least one, it's all worth it. So for those who are interested, there's a free money opportunity, folks. Link in the description. Sign up for MooMoo. They've got an awesome promotion going on right now that I've already taken advantage of. Pretty much everybody I know is taking advantage of. And literally, you open an account, you get a free stock. You deposit $100, you get 9 more. You deposit $1,000, you get 10 more and 1 entry to the sweepstakes, which is a chance in winning $60K, the Holiday Magic Sweepstakes. So I didn't say buy the stocks. Open an account, you get 1 free stock. Deposit $100, you get 9 free stocks. Deposit $1,000. So if you were to open an account and deposit $1,000, you would immediately get 20 free stocks and be entered into this chance to win a $60K Holiday Magic Sweepstakes. And all you did was deposit $1,000. You didn't buy the stocks. Now, if you're saying, well, Kevin, I don't have $1,000. Okay. There's still time. This promotion runs into January. There's still time, but 2022, 2023, a goal for 2023 should be that you never find yourself in a situation where you say, I don't have $1,000. Like, that should be like the bare minimum, bare bones, Dave Ramsey, baby step number 1, emergency safety net plan is $1,000. So if you have $1,000 in savings, so what if you deposit it in a brokerage app that's going to give you 20 free stocks and a chance at winning $60K? You still have $1,000. Well, you know, the banking system is corrupt and they're crooked and they're shady. All right, well, where's your $1,000? Is it at home? Is it in the safe? Did you invest in gold? Do you have some precious metals? Fine, good. Diversify. That's the thing. It's like, this is all by design. This is the plan, okay? But the plan has many deviations and many branches off in different directions. For some, the hiker that I mentioned lost $50K to the bank through some crazy nonsense, which he actually enlightened myself in his video, where he says you can't sue a bank, which further adds to their corruption, backed by government and political influence and legislation. So he really has no recourse. But what his story basically, look, it says here, usually you can sue only for monetary damages, but in some cases you can be awarded damages for emotional distress and inconvenience as well. I had another one pulled up where it literally says you can't sue a bank. You can only, oh, here it is. If you have a dispute with a bank, you can't file a lawsuit in court in most situations under U.S. law. Rather, you must submit your dispute to arbitration. With arbitration, the outcome of the dispute is in the hands of a set of arbitrators, and their decision typically can't be appealed. Who do you think selects the arbitrators? His story was unique and convoluted, and how the banks manipulated the money and played games, ultimately legally allowing them to just confiscate this money and never return it. And even, like he said in his video, if he were to try, the money that was lost, that was attempting to be recovered, would more than likely see half of it consumed in expensive legal fees. Said all he wanted was fix up the house, get some new floors or something. But the banks, they know how to think. They'll look at all the codes and all the players and all that, and use that to their advantage to pull off these schemes, which people say, oh, he's a scammer, Kevin's a scammer. I don't know what I'm scamming folks with. I don't know what that is. If you know what I'm scamming folks with, please let me know, because like I get these comments, it's like, Kevin's a scammer. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to help you guys understand what's going on, and hopefully get you guys to a point at which you don't drop the comments and say we're broke, we don't have any money, times are tough, we don't know how we're going to make it. They don't care. No, they don't care about you. But who else out there is trying to pass this information along to you and help you understand how it's possible to try to make that come up from someone who's already done it? Oh, well, look at you sitting in that expensive car and, drinking Starbucks and this, that, and going on vacation and eating out and stuff. It's like, okay, and so what? Why? Well, because I can, okay? So would you not want to listen to the advice of someone who's doing it and has done it and is continuing to do it, that's trying to help you, instead of just being negative and ignorant? The notification you get when you go to comment on the videos, it says no negativity, no hate. It doesn't mean no criticism. It doesn't mean no debate. But if all you're going to do is come at me negatively with some form of personal animosity and hatred towards me and my wife and my family, with some of you folks out there just going the racial route with, extreme racism, which is really silly, because it doesn't affect me, but it just kind of like, it automatically, immediately expresses to me your intelligence level or lack thereof. And it's like, for what? Because I made a video trying to help people? Trying to help people be better than what they were? I don't get it. You too, you can be included. I don't care who you are. I don't discriminate. Anybody out there who wants to be better and do better, I'm all for it. I want you to do better. I want to see you be better. But I already know that this is part of the system. These are the people who have fallen in line and only know what to think. They don't know how to think, nor are they willing to accept the idea and the fact that they can learn how to think. So about that email I received from YouTube, I don't really know how to take it. I don't know if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. I'm still trying to digest it and process it, determine what I want to do after having received this email, and what does that mean for the future of Kevin 24/7, the future of this channel, the future of these videos, and trying to bring information and insight and education and knowledge and wisdom and experiences to you guys. I gotta think about that one. If you guys want to know more about that email, hit me up. You know how to contact me. But you know, also for the people out there who are seriously looking for ways of trying to break away from the system and the status quo and only working a job for minimum wage and barely getting by. And look, 2023, somebody asked me, Kevin, what are your predictions for 2023? My prediction for 2023 is that it's going to be more of the same, folks. More of the same. And depending on who you are, where you are, what your mindset is, it's going to be more of the same. For me, it's going to be more of the same. Continuous growth and achievement, and trying to help others. For you, I don't know what that means. Drop a comment, let me know. What is your if 2023, if my prediction is correct and 2023 means more of the same for you, what does that picture look like? It may be a little bit tougher than 2022, especially if you're of the mindset that everyone is out to get you, because that would include that, like me, myself, is out to get you. Now, I'm not saying that they and them and the system isn't, but that kind of like takes that takes care of itself, basically. And if you can break out of that system, you'll be fine. But odds are they know that force, that magnetic field that it has, that it can grab these people, it'll get who it's going to get, which is a lot. But then it's like some like me that it's just not going to get. Others in my circle, not going to get. New folks who've joined the network, probably not going to get. But if you allow it to happen, then you can't really blame anybody but yourself. Especially if you've made it this far in the video and you're still saying to yourself, no, the world's going to end, the monetary system's going to crash, money's worthless, by 2030 most of the human population is going to be eliminated. Fine, that's 7 years from now. What are you going to do in between there? You know, what are you going to do in between there? If that's the case, shoot, I'm going to go out with a bang. But until then, I'm going to continuously grind and work hard and achieve goals. Try to help others along the way. Why not?